From deserted cities and hotels to forgotten planes and ships, these are 11 haunting abandoned places and machines. Number 11. Royal Oriental Hotel, Japan. We kick off our journey by going on a vacation to the Hawaii of Japan, or Hachijojima Island. Located 180 miles south of Tokyo, this volcanic island was a hotspot for Japanese tourism in the 60s. In 1963, the biggest hotel on the island opened. It was named the Royal Oriental Hotel, and boy was it massive. For the next 20 years or so, the hotel was very popular and had tons of visitors. But as the Japanese government loosened visas for outside travel, the whole island of Hachijojima suffered. The closure of the Royal Hotel was not immediate. It somehow managed to stay open until 2006. Since then, it has been an explorer's paradise. The French Baroque architecture and the thick overgrowth make this hotel seem like it is stuck in time. Was it built only some 50 years ago or 200? It's hard to tell nowadays. Number 10. The SS United States, Philadelphia. Built in 1952, this ocean liner came at the steep cost of $79.4 million. It is the fastest ocean liner to cross the Atlantic in either direction. Unfortunately, the company that built the SS United States never managed to make the ship profitable. Neither did the string of owners after them. This beauty of the ocean saw its last voyage in 1969. Since then, it has been dragged to a few docks, eventually settling for Pier 82 in Philadelphia. It has remained there since 1996. I know this one has been requested from viewers for a while. It took me some time to get to it, but we're finally exploring it. If you have any other great suggestions, don't forget to comment below. In 2016, the SS United States came very close to being purchased and renovated as a New York cruise ship. Crystal Cruises, the company that made the bid, realized that the expenses for such a restoration project would be too high. But in a surprising turn of events, the company donated $350,000 towards the preservation of the SS United States. Chances are, this massive cruise liner will never travel again, but maybe it will become a badass museum. Number 9. Harz Mountain Hotel, Germany. I found pictures of the hotel before I could find any background information. All the pictures were only tagged as Harz Mountains Hotel, and Google didn't really come up with anything useful. Reverse image searches also didn't help. Then this picture gave me a glimpse of the name. Then I found out it's located in the city of Bad Harzburg, which led me to this picture. A little bit more detective work and I arrived at the name Harzburger Hotel. And ding 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 ding, we have a winner. The hotel is actually pretty damn old. It was built in 1868 and it stayed open all the way into the 1990s. But after the casino inside was shut down, things went south pretty quick. And after it was closed, the place became a regular spot for teenagers and homeless people. And the building's somehow still standing even after 2 fires. The second fire was massive. It took out the top 3 floors of the building. Google Maps provided a great top-down view of the damage. It must stink to explore this place nowadays. In 2010, a private investor bought the property with hopes of renovating it. But after a few failed loan payments, nothing of value was completed. By the way, does anyone know why Google Maps is slacking in the Street View department all over Germany? Just look at this. Crazy, huh? Number 8. The RMS Queen Elizabeth, Hong Kong. What does RMS stand for? Royal Mail Ship. Just like the Titanic, but with much less tragedy. The ship was launched in 1938 and enjoyed an illustrious career. But by the 60s, there was absolutely no need for a passenger liner this big. A few years and owners later, the RMS Queen Elizabeth ended up in the Hong Kong harbor. She was purchased by a Chinese shipping magnate. He planned to turn this ship into a floating university cruise and renamed the ship Seawise University. During the ship's restoration, a suspicious fire broke out. The ship capsized and stayed in this condition for over a year. Eventually, most of the ship was scrapped because it was deemed a hazard to nearby travel. Some of the remains of the Queen Elizabeth are still buried in the sediment at the Hong Kong harbor. Would I dive there to see what I could find? Probably not the best idea. Number 7. Ghagra, Abkhazia. Located on the east coast of the Black Sea, Ghagra was once a beautiful coastal town with a growing population of 27,000 people. With history dating back centuries, Ghagra was first established as a Greek colony and managed to survive many hardships through the years. But the war in Abkhazia back in 1992 almost destroyed the whole city. Hotels, businesses, homes, public transport stations all lay abandoned. Beautiful architecture is slowly being destroyed by the weather, waiting for someone to save it, and it doesn't look promising. Number 6. The Kharkov Tank Repair Plant, Ukraine. Another hard-to-find place, but with Google Maps, it was easy to pinpoint it. This place is known as the Kharkov Tank Production and Repair Factory. It also shares the property with the dildo factory. Looking at the front entrance, it looks like the first floor is filled with something. Maybe packages from the other factory? All these tanks have been stored here for years. It's possible that some could easily be put back in service, but you gotta wonder how many are as good as scrap metal at this point. Number 5. Sant Roma de Sal, Spain. Now we go from tanks to no thanks. Destroying 1,000-year-old cities is not the worst thing that can happen, but it's still a dick move. The city of Sant Roma de Sal was flooded some 60 years ago. The area became a reservoir of water for bigger nearby cities. Sometimes, when the water levels are low, the 3-story town church triumphantly rises over the horizon. But then it rains and everything is forgotten again, until the water levels are low again. I mean, you get the point. Number 4. Hotel California, California. Well, actually, it's the Royal Hawaiian Motel in California, in the small desert city of Baker. And yes, California has a lot of desert land. Let me tell you, the reviews are not so great. Even when the place was open, it looked closed. Boarded up rooms, shady characters, empty pool, rare staff person sightings. The whole thing was a mess. I've also showcased some of the more interesting Yelp reviews. It seems like this place only survived because of the random people that decided to drive from the East Coast to LA, unable to make those last 3 hours of driving between Baker and Los Angeles. There's absolutely no news about this unsettling motel, and just so you know, it might be closed, but it's not empty. Shady characters still decide to spend a night or two here, so beware if you're trying to go on a little urban exploration trip. Number 3. MV Kalakala. The motor vessel Kalakala was originally named the Peralta, and it served the San Francisco Bay Area. It was quickly sold to a Seattle businessman and became a staple of Seattle. From postcards to songs, this ship was the bee's knees. She served over 1 million visitors a year, and everybody had nice things to say about their experience on the ship. But all good things must come to an end. The Kalakala silently fell into obscurity and became a fishing vessel off the coast of Alaska. In a sweet turn of events, an arts and history group purchased the vessel and brought it back to the Pacific Northwest. It was to be returned to its former glory at a shipping yard in Tacoma, Washington. It did not work out. By 2011, the Coast Guard wanted the ship scrapped because it was a danger to nearby shipping routes. During the scrapping process, an auction was held for bits and pieces of this strange and beautiful ship. Within hours, the Kalakala was inducted into the Things That Will Live Forever Hall of Fame, figuratively speaking. Bits and pieces of the vessel are scattered all around the world, some in museums, some in private collections, abandoned but not forgotten. Number 2. Beichuan, China. Speaking of abandoned but not forgotten, how about Beichuan County in China? After the 2008 Sichuan earthquake, the region was devastated, ruins littered the horizon, and thousands of people were forever lost. It is believed that 80% of the county's buildings collapsed from the 8.0 magnitude earthquake. The main town in Beichuan had a population of 20,000, but no one lives there anymore. The city will be turned into a memorial for the 69,000 people that lost their lives from the massive earthquake. If you want to see what a completely destroyed town that isn't a war zone looks like, this is the place to go. Number 1. The C-47 Skytrain/Dakota, Turkey. The most famous C-47 abandoned plane is without a doubt the one located in the wilderness of Iceland. I've covered that wreck in my World's Strangest Isolated Places video. I will link to it at the end of this one for easy access. Go watch it, not gonna be disappointed. Before everyone starts yelling at me, we have the Douglas C-47 Skytrain, or Dakota, which is a military aircraft version of the civilian Douglas DC-3. Various models of these aircraft fly to this day and are still used by the military in some capacities. Anywho, the plane that we are looking at here is located off the coast of Turkey. Some sites call it a DC-3 and not a C-47. Seems like way too many people are confused as to what is what. Either way, I got proof that this is a C-47, yo. It was used by the Turkish military for parachute training. The plane was later donated to a diving organization which decided to lay it to rest 30 feet underwater. It's not the most popular diving spot in the world, so you should be able to explore the Dakota somewhat peacefully. Check out the featured comment below, subscribe for more World Unearthed, and I'll see you in the next video.